This country, by the 13th Amendment, had stated that they shouldn't have slavery, but it took away from private slave owners and transferred it over to the states where they can have slavery. And we know ever since they done that, they came in with the black codes and everything so they can get convict leasing programs. So they literally can reinstitute slavery right back in the United States under the guise of the Constitution. So the reason why black men are targeted so heavy is because they want black men to still be the slave class in this nation. Understand that. That's why they put any charges they can in certain areas, especially with more poor black men who don't have any kind of representation, no defense, no anything. So case in point, you have a brother in Mississippi. Now, they had sentenced his brother to 12 years in jail for carrying his cell phone in a jail after he was arrested. Now, usually when a person gets arrested, they empty their pockets, they take out everything, right? So how could you bring anything in the jail after you was arrested? Shouldn't they have patted you down? Shouldn't they took everything out your pockets? Shouldn't they done everything they normally do when they process somebody to put them in jail? But yet this brother, Willie Nash, was originally arrested on a misdemeanor charge. He entered the Newton County Jail in Decatur, Mississippi with his cell phone. OK, I said the now 39-year-old was charged with possession of a cell phone in the county jail and was given 12 years in August 2018. How do you get 12 years for a cell phone? That's those backwoods laws that's in states like Mississippi. See, states like Mississippi, Alabama, it is so heavy with backwoods white supremacy. And those people make laws, okay? And unfortunately, our brothers and sisters suffer in those states. More than, yes, I know you got racism in Texas and Louisiana and all that. That Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, them three right there, those are some major conclaves of white supremacy, and that very ignorant white supremacy is that run those states. I'm telling you, those three states right there. Yes, I know it's in Georgia too, but it's certain pockets of Georgia as well. Now you kind of stay in Atlanta, but if you go to them other spots of Georgia, yeah, you better watch it because there's a lot of Klan running around there too. But what I'm saying is, those states I've seen more than others always have some issues with these draconian sentences for black men. Now, they state here that he had a Southern Poverty Law Center attorney, and he was hoping to have the Mississippi Supreme Court reconsider its earlier ruling against Nash, but the court declined the motion Thursday. Bardwell considered the ruling a miscarriage of justice, which it is, and plans to appeal the case to the U.S. Supreme Court. OK, so they say the sentence is longer than what Mississippi courts would rule for someone charged with second-degree arson or someone who's facing a poisoning charge with the intent to kill. His attorney said in the appeal sentence. So they sentenced this brother to more time than an arsonist would get or someone who's trying to poison somebody to kill them. That's crazy. But this is what they do. This is exactly what they do in those kind of states. Now, they say the Mississippi Supreme Court, which has one black justice on its 9-member panel. Now, watch this, what I'm about to say. Listen to this. This is why we say these black sellouts, no matter where they at, they are detrimental for the black community. It said even the black person that's on the Mississippi Supreme Court had ruled against the brother in January. Listen to that. So there's more time than they would ever give to anyone else for what he's done. But the black man or woman, whoever that may be, sided against the brother because they make sure, because see, when they get in certain positions, these sellouts, they feel like they're white too until they learn later, right? So it says that Justice Leslie King, who wrote an early decision that the prosecutor and the trial judge did not have to punish Nash for the contraband. He wrote the offense was a victimless and the case demonstrated a failure of our criminal justice system on multiple levels. As a King said in January, he believed Nash unknowingly entered the jail with a mobile phone after officers at the jail did not follow up with the booking procedures. See right there. They didn't follow up with the booking procedures. Understand? They the ones should have been fired for something. That would have required them to conduct a strip search and seize Nash's smartphone. It said officers were also required to tell inmates the cell phones are prohibited. They didn't say that. Now, they said during Nash's initial sentencing hearing, August 2018, Circuit Court Judge Mark Duncan told Nash he should consider himself fortunate that he not receive additional time based on 2 decades worth of convictions. That's what he stated. So they claim Mississippi upholds strict laws regarding prohibited items in a correctional facility. Under the law, cell phones, SIM cards, even chargers are considered the same as drugs and deadly weapons. What kind of crap is that? See, this is the backwoods laws that's getting black people locked up. You're considered a cell phone, a SIM card, or even a charger are the same as drugs and deadly weapons? Seriously? How do black people stay in Mississippi under those draconian laws? I don't know how you brothers and sisters do it. I don't know. They say, now, found in violation of the law, you face a minimum sentence of 15 years with a 3-year minimum. Okay? But they gave this brother 12 years. That is stupid. How did they listen? He didn't sneak it in. Your cops failed to search him. That's on them. But once again, if they do wrong, they still gonna punish the black man. Always remember that. In America, we live behind enemy lines, ladies and gentlemen. We do. And this is why I say the things that I speak when I go to play the continent, because on a continent, I'm not living behind enemy lines. We are here. And some people, try to get fly. Why are you here then? Because I'm not emotional like you. I know how to make a decision and make a plan and execute a plan. I don't just do things without thinking it through and then be like some black folks that made emotional decisions and went to the continent of Africa and then make the right move with it. And now they're coming back to America with their tail between their legs. See, when Phil make decisions, he makes sure he accomplishes it and think it through. And that way, when he completes something, he knows it's right. And I don't have to come back on my tail between my legs being embarrassed. Understand? I know you're not used to foresight, and I know, certain people like that lead the kind of comments not used to plans because you're used to just right now. But I'm a black person that think a lot different than you. OK, so you can miss me with those kind of comments because it really gets yourself blocked telling me that crap. Like, you don't tell me where to go, because to me, I'm grown. I go where I please. Just make sure you take care of yourself, because when it goes down here, and it will, I'll be looking back and say, I told them. I can't feel bad for them. But let me know what you think about this particular story out of Mississippi. Brothers and sisters in Mississippi and Jackson. Definitely have a lot of brothers and sisters there. Feel you. I love you guys. I just couldn't deal with places like Mississippi. The states like that are poop hole states. Sorry, they just are. Not my people. I'm talking about those states, because the people you have running it, the most ignorant, backwoods people running your state. Even your governor, she's very backwoods. Look at her. You know what I'm saying? You don't even just have no lick of and just because you may have, even if she do have a degree, I don't know. Yes, she do. Don't mean you're smart, because there's a lot of folks running around there in that state. They're just, man, like, I don't even know how you even let them in government.